So Joshua Bernstein is a person who has his own website. I think he's been banned on YouTube. I think he's been banned on several other social media channels simply because of the fact that a lot of the stuff that he says, a lot of the social media people don't like. You might understand why when you hear the things that he has to say. This is about a 5 minute long clip, and I'm just going to let it play uninterrupted. Uh, and we'll play this, and then I will discuss it after the fact. So here we go. Here's my call into Jeff's show with his commentary afterwards, and then we'll discuss.
It's right that Pence and Biden were not supposed to have the documents that are marked classified, top secret, secret or whatever. And when asked for all those documents back, they gave all the documents back. When Trump was asked for all the documents back, he did not give all the documents back. In fact, he gave a part of them back. And then when he was asked, you can sigh all you want, but when asked, and then when it was subpoenaed for the rest of the documents, not only did he not give the rest of the documents back, he misled his own attorney, according to the indictment. I mean, I don't know if y'all read the indictment, but if you read the indictment, it clearly states that he told his own attorney that he was going to come down and he was going to go and he was going to search through some boxes and go through the rest of them and fill out and put them all in a folder and then he sealed it with clear tape to be able to turn it back in or whatever. But he worked with his aide to put other boxes somewhere else. And then when he filled out this affidavit or whatever, said, yeah, these are all the documents, and had another attorney sign it, said, yeah, these are all the documents to submit back to the grand jury for the subpoena. So he lied to the grand jury saying, yeah, these are all the documents, but there were still more documents to be left. So if he didn't have, so he could have easily avoided prosecution here simply by returning all of the documents. And look, you can laugh all you want, Josh.
Okay, first of all, Liberal Dan, here's how dumb you are, okay? First and foremost, what Biden did was indeed a violation of the Classifications Act, okay? Why? Well, because he didn't have executive privilege, because he was the, quote, vice president. The president of the United States could take a piece of toilet paper, wipe his behind with it, leave the White House with it, and guess what? The second he's outside that White House, it is declassified. That is what the executive privilege is. He can take any document, and any president, by the way, from Obama to the Bushes to the Clintons and their socks and the socks drawer and everything else, anything is removed from the White House is automatically declassified based on the act alone. Okay, genius? That's how
this works. I'm not going to call you an idiot, but I'm going to call you uninformed.
Okay,
Josh, you are uninformed. The presidential record,
right. I'm uninformed.
Presidential record. Yes, you are, because classified documents are a completely separate animal.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
They're automatically declassified.
There's nothing in the law that automatically declassifies. No,
that's
you're manufacturing that.
All right,
out of the
hang on, guys. Hang on, one at a time. Let me ask you this, Liberal Dan, and then I'll get Josh's response, and then we got to move on to another caller. Josh mentioned, and others have mentioned, the sock case, the fact that you had all these recordings that President Clinton had, and some of it was very classified materials that he did not turn over. I mean, these were subpoenaed tapes, so they went to court, and the judge determined, well, it's his. He doesn't have to turn them over. So why would Bill Clinton not have to turn over these tapes that were in his sock drawer? And then Donald Trump has to turn over all these documents that are requested. Why is there that double standard, Liberal Dan?
Were those tapes marked as classified, secret, or top secret by any of the agencies that were able to that do mark those documents as secret, top secret, or classified? No, they were not. As such, they were not covered by the Espionage Act. A. B, so I mean, and look, he can laugh all he wants. He could make.
I'm not laughing. I'm telling you that Bill Clinton, as president of the United States, could do the exact same thing that Trump did.
You can cut me. I mean, look, you can cut me off all you want.
Right.
But you're just uninformed,
wrong,
and you're misleading the audience. You're misleading the audience, and I'll call back.
Liberal Dan, thank you for your call. All right, thank you for your call. And you can call back tomorrow if you want to talk about this in more detail. But I think you made your point. I think we got your point across. And I think, we both disagree with you. So, Josh, your response on this, and then we're going to squeeze in one more.
It's really simple. If Bill Clinton decided to take Monica Lewinsky's dress out of the White House, stain or not, guess what? It's declassified just by the act of the fact that he's president of the United States. Okay? That's how this works. It's executive privilege. That's why the presidents have the ability to do that. So the mere act of taking anything, whether it's a napkin, whether it's a document in Iran, whether it's a letter from another president, it doesn't matter. It's automatically declassified the second it leaves the White House.
And the other.
All right, so there you go. That was my call into the Jeff Crouere show with Joshua Bernstein, talking about the Trump indictment and their ridiculousness of it. First of all, if you heard me say it, I wasn't going to call him an idiot, but I did call him uninformed, which is a two separate thing. The moment you start off with an insult, in my opinion, you lose. And Joshua Bernstein is very, very uninformed, and you saw many examples there as to why he is uninformed. I don't understand his whole argument with toilet paper with crap on it. Toilet paper with that you wipe yourself with is not a classified document, so it would not have to be declassified. It would not be anything. I mean, yeah, sure, he might be able to declare executive privilege on such a piece of toilet paper. I don't know why he would have to. I don't know why Donald Trump would walk out of the White House with a piece of toilet paper with his own poop on it. I mean, I'm not one to kink shame. That's his own personal deal if that's what he wants to do. I mean, typically most people would just flush it down the toilet. Apparently Donald Trump tried to flush other things down the toilet too, and that wasn't necessarily legal, but it would be perfectly legal for him to flush a piece of toilet paper down the toilet, and that's his prerogative. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about here. The idea that Donald Trump could simply walk out of the White House with a classified document and have it be declassified automatically is wrong, especially in this case, for three reasons. First reason, he said it himself that the document was not declassified. He said it himself that the document was classified. According to the indictment, which clearly both of them, in my opinion, they have not read, he spoke to four people, none of whom had clearance, none of whom had a need to know about what was on those documents. He said that that document was not declassified, and he could not declassify it at that point because he was at that point not president, and he still showed it to him anyway. So that was him admitting that the document that he was showing them was not yet declassified. So it was still classified. So he admitted on an audio recording that he was showing them a classified document. B, the judge in this case, who was appointed by Donald Trump, is requiring that Trump's attorneys get clearance to view the 31 classified documents in this case. Why would they need to get clearance to view the classified documents if Trump, by simply walking out of the White House, would automatically declassify these documents? That doesn't make any sense if they're automatically declassified simply by him walking out of the White House with them. Third, and most importantly, and something that I got Jeff to admit today on the show, is that these classified documents, secret, top secret, whatever, they can come in many forms, and they usually have, or often can have, multiple copies. Some of them can even be sent via email, as they love to point out with Hillary Clinton. If Donald Trump had one of these copies and walked out the White House with them, and that automatically made the classified document declassified, then you end up in a state of Schrodinger's declassification, where the document is declassified for him, but still classified for other people. It doesn't make any sense. So what would make clear sense would be, especially for the president who signed an amendment to the law on the Espionage Act that made harsher penalties for people for mishandling classified information, that you would especially think that he would make sure that he dotted every I and crossed every T and made sure that any document that was previously classified when he was president was known to everybody who had those documents, that, hey, these are no longer classified. So you would think that he would make a paper trail and say, hey, document A, B, C, X, Y, Z, 1, 2, 3, all of these documents that I'm now taking with me are now declassified. So everybody who has a copy of these things, now you know they are declassified for y'all as well. He didn't do that, so they're not declassified. And look, Joshua Bernstein and Jeff Crouere, can disagree with me all they want. They're still wrong. Now, the point with Bill Clinton and the dress, I mean, yeah, he's making cheap points with it and the stain, but the dress isn't a classified document. It's a dress. The executive privilege is not relevant here. This isn't about a letter from a foreign leader. This isn't about a letter that he wrote somebody. This isn't about anything else that he did, a napkin that he wiped his mouth on, a fork that he received or that he stole from him. This is about classified documents, documents that have been marked as classified by all of the agencies or any of the agencies that have the authority to do so. This is not about executive privilege. This is about things that are marked as classified. Furthermore, because I didn't have much time to talk with Jeff and Joshua Bernstein on this issue, I emailed Mr. Bernstein about this. And I said, look, we obviously have a disagreement here. I invite you to come on my show. I'll give you a full 3 hours. You can come on my show, and I will gladly give you enough time where you can come on the show. You can discuss this issue with me. You can explain to me in full detail why you believe a president simply walking out the door with a document makes a classified document no longer classified. And he refused. So not only is he not informed, he is a coward. He refused to do so. So there you have it. I gave him more time than he gave me by allowing him to make his point on my show. He's not willing to do it now. He did say that I could pay him to come on his airtime and go on his show and pay him money to debate on his show, but I have no belief that he would be at any reason fair, that he wouldn't cut me off and he would give me a fair amount of time. Whereas all of my listeners can verify that I give conservatives that come on my show a very fair amount of time. In fact, I would probably say that my listeners would say I give conservatives too much time on my show to talk. Many times, a lot of my listeners will say, hang up on them already. So I'm probably overly fair to the conservative callers that call into my show. But there you have it. Joshua Bernstein, I extended an invitation for you to come on my show. You, like a coward, said no. So there you go. You are wrong, Joshua Bernstein. You're uninformed. You won't come on my show. And there you have it. Now the truth is out there, and that's the end of the story.